Miranda from Owl Ridge Fibers, and today I wanted to go over a little bit about how I skirt and prepare fleeces to be spun or washed and then spun. Some of this is I'm going to be sending about half of our fleeces out to a fiber mill to spin at a fiber mill, and then the other half I'll process myself by hand to have some hand spun yarn available. But so I'm getting this fleece here on the table, which is Lacey's sheared fleece. It's only about half of it, the other half is in that bag. So this half I'm actually getting ready to send to the fiber mill. And when we do send it to a mill, we use a local mill in Connecticut. And they're very, very good, and they make very good yarn, but they do tend to be sort of picky when you send your fleece to them, because they want to be able to process it the best and give you the best yarn out of your fiber. So you have to start out really with some really good quality fiber to work with. So the requirements are usually the staple length that you're using to send to them needs to be pretty much uniform. So I'm picking out all of the lengths of fiber that are about 5 inches, because that seems to be the longest fiber that's in here, the length of fiber that's in here. So everything I have lined up here are all the 5-inch pieces of fiber that I found in here. I'm also discarding any of the second cuts. So if you see this, here's the one here. These pieces here are just second cuts. Actually, our shearer's really good at not going over twice with his shears, but sometimes it just gets a little funky, or these are just really short spots that were on their fleece. But you want to get rid of any second cuts. You want to get rid of anything that's really, really short, that doesn't, it's not 5 inches. I'm also getting rid of, when I skirt the fleece, I will get rid of all these dags that are attached to the fleece here. This is just like poop and really caked on urine, really dirty fleece that is just not going to be able to be washed out. So that goes away. We just get rid of that. If you like to make some of those needle felted fiber balls, you could use that. You could try to wash it out the best you can, but usually when you get rid of all those really, really gross pieces of fiber, you just get rid of them. You're not really going to use them for anything. Any cuts or anything that I feel like is dirty, but not that dirty that I want to throw out, like this probably per se, I don't want to send to Joe at the fiber mill because it's a little too dirty for his machines. But for me to hand process, this should be fine. I'll just wash it a bunch of times and soak it, and I'll put that extra care into washing this fiber. It should be fine. So that goes into my bucket there. So my bucket here is just kind of more dirtier fiber that I don't want to send to the mill, but that I can probably process by hand and it'll be fine. So when I'm going through and looking for pieces of fiber that I want to send to the mill, I'll get, if I go through this here, I'll look and see, is it about 5 inches? Is it looking good? Yeah, I'll just put it there. Is there any vegetable matter in it? So I'm pretty lucky with this fleece because I barely see any. There's a little bit of hay in here, but some fleeces are really, really stuck with hay, like in here. You just pull those out, but those are nice big pieces I can get out. If you have fleece that is just riddled with vegetable matter or VM, you're just going to need to completely get rid of that piece of fiber. I don't have anything here to show you that's really filled with hay or shavings. We don't use shavings, so that helps with their fleece later on when they're sheared. But just like pieces like this, where I'm going to get this whole pile here is gone. I don't think any of this I want to even try to process even by hand, and I'm definitely not going to send that to the mill. So let me find, so the pieces like, here's a second cut, or here's something that we may use, I can use that. Probably this entire piece here, not so, it's a little stained, but that may come out. So these are the pieces I'm looking for that are about the size of the staple length that I want. So here's some more. What else? So I think, so that's what I'm doing. And then I'll go through all the fleeces like that, and the lamb's fleeces will be a little bit different. It'll be a shorter staple length, but you just want to make sure that you're sending the mill really good uniform fiber. Get all that vegetable matter out of that if you can, and get rid of all those pieces that have really, really bad dags in them or pieces of poop. So you want to get rid of those. So that's it. And then we'll package this up and drive it to the mill and see what he says. And then the more uniform the length of fiber, the better yarn you're going to get. So I hope that helps.